Most people wake up and move through life like they're just trying to survive another day. They think small, act small, speak small, and wonder why nothing changes. But the truth is, greatness never begins with what you have. It begins with how you carry yourself before anything arrives. If you want extraordinary results, you must stop living like life is happening to you and start moving like you are creating something bigger than yourself. Act as if you're building an empire, not just money, not just success, but an empire of discipline, confidence, purpose, and legacy. Walk like your steps matter. Speak like your words have value. Protect your time like it's gold. Make decisions like generations will benefit from what you do today. Because empires are never built in one day. They are built in the quiet moments when nobody is watching, when excuses are easy, and when giving up feels tempting. The person who wins is the one who keeps showing up with vision in their heart and fire in their soul. So from this moment on, stop treating your dreams like a hobby. Start treating your life like a mission. Because the moment you act like a builder, life starts handing you bricks. Have you ever noticed that the people who build something great usually see it long before anyone else does? Before the applause, before the money, before the proof, there is a picture in their minds so clear that they cannot ignore it. That is where every empire begins, not in the hands, but in the vision. If you cannot see something greater for your life, you will keep repeating what already exists. But the moment you develop vision before victory, everything starts to change. Most people wait for evidence before they believe. They say, once I get the opportunity, I'll become serious. Once I make money, I'll think bigger. Once life gets easier, I'll give my best. But vision works in the opposite direction. First you believe, then you build. First you decide, then the doors begin to open. First you see yourself becoming more, then your habits start catching up to that picture. Victory is usually the result of a vision that refused to die. Think about how many dreams disappear simply because they were judged too early. Someone starts with excitement, but because results do not come fast enough, they quit. They confuse delay with denial. They mistake silence for failure. They think because nothing is happening outside, nothing is happening at all. But some of the most important growth happens where nobody can see it. Roots grow before branches appear. Foundations are laid before towers rise. Vision teaches you to respect the unseen season. There will be days when your current reality looks nothing like your future. Your bank account may look small. Your environment may feel limiting. The people around you may not understand you. But vision gives you the power to keep moving even when your surroundings try to convince you to stop. It reminds you that where you are standing today is temporary. It tells you that your present circumstances are not your permanent identity. The people who do extraordinary things are not always the most talented. Many times they are simply the ones who held on to a clear vision longer than everyone else. They kept showing up when it was inconvenient. They kept learning when nobody praised them. They kept improving while others complained. Why? Because they were not living only for today. They were connected to tomorrow. Vision changes how you carry yourself. When you know where you are going, you stop wasting energy trying to impress people who are going nowhere. You become more selective with your time. You become more intentional with your choices. You stop saying yes to distractions and start saying yes to growth. A clear vision creates discipline because it gives your sacrifice meaning. And let's be honest, without vision, it is easy to drift. You wake up, react to problems, scroll through other people's lives, repeat routines, and call it living. Weeks become months, months become years, and suddenly you wonder where your potential went. But people with vision live differently. They wake up with direction. They know their actions today are connected to a bigger story. Even ordinary days feel important when you know they are building something extraordinary. You do not need every detail figured out to begin. Many people stay stuck because they want a perfect map. But vision is not about knowing every step. It is about knowing enough to take the next one. No empire was built by someone who had all the answers on day one. It was built by someone willing to move with courage while learning on the journey. There will also be critics. Some will laugh at what they cannot see. Some will doubt what they do not understand. Some will project their fears onto your future. Let them. Never expect people with limited vision to understand a life that requires expansion. You do not need permission to dream bigger. You do not need applause to stay committed. Your assignment is not to convince everyone else. Your assignment is to remain faithful to what has been placed in your heart. Protect your vision, feed it with learning, strengthen it with action, guard it from constant negativity, speak life into it, especially when progress feels slow. The mind follows what it repeatedly hears. If you keep telling yourself it is impossible, you will move like it is impossible. If you keep reminding yourself it is coming, you will start preparing like it is coming. And preparation matters. If you truly believe success is ahead, act like it. Build the skills now. Improve your mindset now. Develop consistency now. Organize your life now. Become the person capable of handling what you are asking for. Too many people pray for doors they are not prepared to walk through. Vision without preparation becomes fantasy, but vision with discipline becomes reality. So today, lift your eyes higher than your current situation. Stop measuring your future by your present limitations. Stop asking whether it is possible and start asking who you need to become. See the business before it launches. See the healing before it fully arrives. See the confidence before anyone recognizes it. See the life before it becomes visible. Because victory always follows vision. Long before the world celebrates you, there must be something inside you that says, I know what I'm building. Hold on to that voice. Trust that picture. Stay committed to that future. One day the results will show up and people will call it luck. But you will know the truth. It started the moment you saw it before anyone else did. Everyone wants the crown, but very few are willing to carry the weight of building the kingdom. People admire success when it shines, but they rarely respect the silent discipline that created it. They see the result and forget the routine. They notice the reward and ignore the sacrifice. But if you truly want to build something powerful in life, understand this one truth. Discipline builds kingdoms. Talent can open a door, but discipline keeps it open. Motivation can get you started, but discipline keeps you moving when excitement fades. Inspiration can light a fire, but discipline is the wood that keeps it burning. Too many people rely on how they feel, and feelings change every day. Some mornings you feel ready to conquer the world, and other mornings you feel like hiding from it. If your life depends on emotion, your progress will always be unstable. But discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates results. The strongest people are not always the loudest or the most naturally gifted. Many times they are simply the ones who learned how to keep promises to themselves. They said they would wake up earlier, and they did. They said they would study harder, and they did. They said they would stop making excuses, and they did. Every time you honor your word to yourself, you become stronger. Every time you break it, you weaken trust in your own ability. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. There is something powerful about doing what needs to be done, especially when nobody is watching. That is where character is formed. Anyone can perform when applause is guaranteed. Anyone can try hard when rewards are immediate. But can you stay committed when results are slow? Can you keep working when nobody notices? Can you remain focused when distractions are everywhere? That is the test that separates dreamers from builders. Most kingdoms fall before they are ever built because people quit too early. They stop after a few failures. They stop when progress feels invisible. They stop when life becomes uncomfortable. But discipline teaches you that discomfort is not the enemy. Sometimes discomfort is proof that you are growing. Muscles burn before they strengthen. Minds struggle before they expand. Habits feel hard before they become natural. If you run from discomfort, you may also run from your next level. Discipline also protects you from chaos. When life becomes uncertain, routines become anchors. When emotions become heavy, structure becomes healing. A disciplined person does not need perfect conditions to move forward. They know how to create momentum in imperfect moments. They know that waiting for the right mood wastes time. They know that small actions repeated daily can change everything. And let's be honest, many people want overnight success because they do not want daily responsibility. They want the body without the workouts, the business without the grind, the confidence without the inner work, the peace without the boundaries. But life rarely rewards shortcuts for long. What is built quickly without foundation often collapses quickly too. Discipline may feel slow, but it builds things that last. You do not need to become extreme overnight. Real discipline is often simple. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you started. Show up on time. Put your phone down when it steals your focus. Save money instead of wasting it. Practice when others procrastinate. Rest when needed, but do not disappear from your purpose. These small choices may look ordinary, but repeated over time, they become extraordinary power. Some days discipline will feel lonely. While others choose comfort, you may choose growth. While others waste hours, you may invest them. While others laugh at your consistency, you may quietly be building a future they cannot yet understand. Stay steady. Many people mock what they secretly wish they had the courage to do. Discipline is also freedom, even though it seems like the opposite. Financial discipline creates options. Health discipline creates energy. Mental discipline creates peace. Time discipline creates opportunity. The person who controls themselves gains a life that feels less controlled by circumstance. Without discipline, habits control you. With discipline, you begin to lead your own life. There will be setbacks. You will miss days. You will make mistakes. You will have moments where old habits pull at you. That does not mean you failed. It means you are human. The goal is not perfection. The goal is returning quickly. One weak day does not destroy a strong life unless you let it become a pattern. Get back up, reset, continue. Imagine who you could become if you trusted discipline more than excuses. Imagine the doors that would open if you stayed consistent for 1 year. Imagine the confidence that would grow if you proved to yourself again and again that you can do hard things. Most people underestimate what daily effort can create because they judge results too soon. So if you want to build your kingdom, whatever that means for you, start with discipline. Build habits stronger than your moods. Build routines stronger than your doubts. Build standards stronger than your old excuses. Let your actions speak louder than your intentions. One day people may look at your life and call you lucky, gifted, or blessed. Smile if they do. But deep down, you will know the truth. What they are seeing is not luck. It is the reward of mornings you did not skip, promises you did not break, and days you kept going when quitting would have been easier. That is how kingdoms are built, one disciplined choice at a time. Have you ever walked into a room feeling completely drained even though the day had barely started? Have you ever wondered why some people leave you inspired while others leave you exhausted? The truth is, energy is one of the most valuable things you own, yet many people give it away carelessly every single day. They protect money, they protect possessions, they protect their image, but they don't protect the one thing that fuels everything else. If you want to build anything meaningful in life, you must learn this lesson early. Protect your energy. Your energy affects how you think, how you speak, how you love, how you work, and how you recover. It influences your decisions more than you realize. When your energy is low, small problems feel heavy. Tiny setbacks feel like disasters. You lose patience faster. You doubt yourself quicker. But when your energy is strong, challenges feel manageable. You become clearer, calmer, and more powerful. The same life can feel completely different depending on the state of your energy. Many people think protecting energy means avoiding hard work. It doesn't. Hard work can actually create energy when it aligns with your purpose. What drains you most is not effort, it is misalignment. It is saying yes when you mean no. It is staying in places that shrink you. It is entertaining drama that adds nothing to your life. It is carrying guilt that no longer belongs to you. It is overthinking things that haven't happened. It is trying to be available to everyone while abandoning yourself. Look closely at where your energy goes. Some people lose it in endless comparison. They scroll through other people's highlights and feel behind in their own story. Some lose it in resentment, replaying old pain like a movie that never ends. Some lose it in fake relationships, smiling around people they do not trust. Some lose it by constantly chasing approval, changing themselves to be accepted by people who are not even at peace with themselves. Energy leaks are often silent, but they are expensive. Protecting your energy begins with awareness. Pay attention to what lifts you and what lowers you. Notice how your body feels after certain conversations. Notice how your mind feels after certain habits. Notice which environments bring out your strength and which ones pull you into survival mode. Your body often knows what your mind is still trying to justify. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. You do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not need to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You do not need to stay connected to everything that has access to you. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is step back quietly and choose peace over performance. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your mind, your time, or your heart. Rest is also protection. In a world that glorifies constant hustle, many people feel guilty for slowing down. But exhaustion is not a badge of honor. Burnout is not proof of worth. You are not a machine. You are a human being, and recovery matters. Sleep matters. Silence matters. Joy matters. Laughter matters. Time away from noise matters. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is recharge. Another way to protect your energy is to be careful with what you consume. What you watch, listen to, read, and repeatedly focus on shapes your inner world. If you feed your mind fear all day, fear grows. If you feed it negativity, negativity expands. If you constantly surround yourself with chaos, peace becomes unfamiliar. Choose content, conversations, and environments that strengthen you rather than poison you. And let's be honest, sometimes the biggest threat to your energy is not other people. It is your own untrained mind. Overthinking steals energy. Self-criticism steals energy. Living in the future steals energy. Regret steals energy. You can be sitting in a quiet room and still feel exhausted because your thoughts are fighting battles that do not exist right now. Learn to come back to the present. Learn to breathe. Learn to question thoughts that weaken you. Protecting your energy also means protecting your purpose. If you are trying to build something meaningful, distractions will come dressed as opportunities. Not every invitation is aligned. Not every open door is meant for you. Sometimes saying no to something good is necessary so you can say yes to something great. Focus is energy management. There will be moments when people call you distant because you chose boundaries. They may call you selfish because you finally chose yourself. They may not understand why you changed. Let them misunderstand. Growth often looks offensive to people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. You are not here to be endlessly available at the cost of your well-being. Imagine how different your life would feel if you stopped leaking energy into things that do not matter. Imagine waking up with more clarity because you stopped entertaining nonsense. Imagine having more confidence because you no longer seek permission. Imagine having more peace because you stopped carrying everyone else's emotional weight. You do not need to become cold or disconnected. You simply need to become wise. Be kind, but not naive. Be open, but not unguarded. Be loving, but not self-abandoning. Give, but not until you are empty. So starting today, protect your energy like it is gold, because it is. Guard your mornings, guard your mind, guard your peace, guard your focus, guard your heart. The life you want to build will require strength, and strength requires energy. Stop handing your power to things that cannot nourish you. The more wisely you protect what fuels you, the more powerfully you will rise. The room often decides what it thinks about you before you say a single word, not because of status, money, or titles, but because of presence. The way you walk in, the way you carry yourself, the way you hold your energy, the way you respond under pressure. Long before leadership is given publicly, it is expressed privately. That is why one of the most powerful shifts you can make in life is this: move like a leader before the world calls you one. Too many people wait for permission to become who they already have the potential to be. They think, when I get the promotion, then I'll act confident. When people respect me, then I'll speak up. When success arrives, then I'll carry myself differently. But leadership does not begin after recognition. It begins before it. The title may come later, but the habits, mindset, and presence must come first. A real leader understands that every action sends a message. If you are always late, you communicate carelessness. If you break promises, you communicate unreliability. If you panic at every obstacle, you communicate instability. But if you stay composed, prepared, and consistent, you communicate strength without needing to announce it. People trust what they repeatedly witness more than what they repeatedly hear. Moving like a leader means taking responsibility instead of making excuses. Excuses are easy. They are available every day. They can sound intelligent, reasonable, and convincing, But excuses do not build anything. Responsibility does. Leaders ask, "What can I do now?" Even when circumstances are unfair. They focus on what is in their control instead of wasting life fighting what already happened. It also means learning to stay calm when others are chaotic. Anyone can be pleasant when life is easy, but when plans change, pressure rises, or people disappoint you, your true level is revealed. Leadership is often emotional steadiness. It is the ability to think clearly in moments that try to shake you. It is refusing to let every inconvenience control your mood. Another mark of leadership is service. Many people think leaders are people who command others. Real leaders uplift others. They bring clarity where there is confusion. They encourage where there is fear. They create solutions where there are complaints. They do not need to dominate the room because they know how to strengthen the room. The strongest person is not always the loudest one. Sometimes it is the person who makes everyone around them better. Moving like a leader also means speaking with intention. Words matter. Careless words damage trust, waste energy, and create unnecessary problems. Leaders learn when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to communicate with respect. They do not gossip to feel important. They do not insult to feel powerful. They do not lie to look impressive. Their words carry weight because they are used wisely. You must also learn to make decisions. Indecision drains confidence. Constant hesitation keeps people stuck in lives they have already outgrown. Leaders may not always know the perfect choice, but they understand that clarity often comes through movement. They gather what they can, choose with integrity, and adjust if needed. Waiting forever for certainty can become its own failure. There will be moments when leadership feels lonely. You may choose discipline while others choose comfort. You may choose accountability while others blame. You may choose growth while others remain committed to old habits. Not everyone will understand why you changed. Some people only like the version of you that was easier to influence. Stay steady anyway. Leadership begins with how you lead yourself. Can you control your impulses? Can you keep commitments? Can you manage your emotions? Can you stay focused when distractions are everywhere? Can you be honest with yourself when nobody else knows the truth? If you cannot lead your own habits, thoughts, and choices, external leadership will always feel shaky. And let's be honest, many people want authority without responsibility. They want influence without discipline. They want respect without integrity. But lasting leadership is built from the inside out. It comes from character. It comes from consistency. It comes from doing the right thing when shortcuts are available. Even small daily actions can train you to move like a leader. Keep your word. Show up prepared. Listen fully when others speak. Admit mistakes quickly. Solve problems without drama. Treat people with dignity, whether they can help you or not. Finish tasks without being chased. Carry yourself with humility and confidence at the same time. Presence matters too. Stand upright. Make eye contact. Speak clearly. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. You do not need arrogance to be powerful. Quiet confidence often speaks louder than ego ever could. When you know your values, you stop needing constant validation. There will be days you doubt yourself, days when you feel unready, days when others seem ahead. Remember this: many leaders once felt uncertain. Confidence is not always the starting point. Often it is the result of repeated courage. You become stronger by acting with integrity before you feel fully fearless. Imagine what would change if you entered every room with calm purpose, if you handled problems with maturity, if you became known as someone dependable, thoughtful, and steady. Opportunities naturally move toward people who reduce chaos and create value. So stop waiting for a title to transform you. Stop waiting for applause to develop presence. Stop waiting for permission to become capable. Move like a leader now. Think like one now. Speak like one now. Carry yourself like one now. Because one day the world may finally recognize what you have already been becoming in private. And when that moment comes, it will not feel sudden to you at all. It will simply feel like the outside catching up to the person you chose to become long ago. What if the most important thing you build in life is not the money you make, the title you earn, or the applause you receive, but what remains after you are gone? Most people live for the moment. They chase quick rewards, temporary attention, and short-term comfort. But the people who truly change the world think differently. They understand that legacy starts today, not someday. Many people speak about legacy as if it belongs only to the rich, the famous, or the powerful. That is not true. Legacy is being created by everyone, every single day. It lives in how you treat people, how you handle pressure, how you keep your word, how you love your family, how you respond to setbacks, and what values you pass forward. You do not need millions of followers to leave a mark. Sometimes the deepest impact happens quietly, inside homes, friendships, classrooms, workplaces, and hearts. The mistake many people make is believing they have plenty of time to become who they want to be. They tell themselves they will be more present later, more disciplined later, kinder later, healthier later, courageous later. But life does not always announce how much time is left. Tomorrow is a hope, not a guarantee. That is why legacy cannot wait for the perfect season. It begins in the choices you make now. Think about the people who shaped you. Chances are some of them never stood on a stage or became famous. Maybe it was a parent who sacrificed quietly, a teacher who believed in you when you doubted yourself, a friend who stood beside you in a dark season, a relative who taught you integrity by the way they lived. Their legacy was not built through grand speeches. It was built through consistent character. That is good news because it means greatness is available in ordinary moments. Every time you choose patience over anger, you build legacy. Every time you choose honesty when lying would be easier, you build legacy. Every time you show up for someone who needs support, you build legacy. Every time you break a harmful cycle instead of repeating it, you build legacy. Small moments become lasting stories. Legacy also means asking yourself hard questions. What am I normalizing around the people who watch me? What habits am I teaching without words? What kind of energy do I bring into a room? If someone copied the way I live, would it lead them toward peace or confusion, strength or weakness, growth or stagnation? Whether you realize it or not, people learn from your example. Some people inherit pain, chaos, fear, and limitation. They are handed patterns they never asked for. But one of the most courageous things a person can do is become the one who ends what was unhealthy and begins what is healing. Maybe you did not start the cycle, but you can stop it. Maybe you did not receive the guidance you needed, but you can become that guidance for others. Legacy often looks like healing that future generations will never need to notice because you did the work now. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. Big gestures are remembered, but daily reliability changes lives. Being trustworthy matters. Being emotionally safe matters. Being present matters. Being the person others can count on matters. Children remember it. Families feel it. Communities are strengthened by it. Character repeated over time becomes inheritance. And let's be honest, some people chase success so hard that they lose what matters most. They build careers but neglect relationships. They collect money but lose peace. They gain attention but lose themselves. Then one day they realize they built a life that looked impressive but felt empty. Legacy asks a deeper question. What kind of person are you becoming while achieving things? Legacy is not perfection. No one lives flawlessly. You will make mistakes. You will have regrets. You will have seasons where you fall short. What matters is humility, growth, and correction. Apologize when needed. Learn when corrected. Keep evolving. Sometimes one sincere change in direction can reshape generations. There is also a legacy of courage. When you go after your purpose, you give others permission to do the same. When you rise after failure, you teach resilience. When you stay kind in a harsh world, you model strength. When you refuse to betray your values for convenience, you show that integrity still exists. People are always watching examples, whether they admit it or not. You may not see the full results of what you plant. A seed does not become a tree overnight. But the fact that you may not witness the harvest does not make the planting less important. Some of the greatest things you do may bloom in someone else's future. That is still success. So start now. Speak life now. Love well now. Build discipline now. Create healthy habits now. Heal now. Forgive where possible now. Learn now. Lead now. Show gratitude now. Become the kind of person whose presence leaves people stronger, calmer, and more hopeful. One day your name may be spoken in rooms you never entered. Stories may be told about how you carried yourself, how you treated others, how you changed a family line, how you inspired courage, how you made people feel seen. And if that happens, it will not be because of one dramatic moment. It will be because of thousands of ordinary choices made with intention. Remember this: legacy is not something you leave only at the end of life. Legacy is something you build while living. And the most powerful day to begin is today.